What is up, guys? Del Boy here. So Deontay Wilder defeats Luis Ortiz by a 10th round TKO to essentially get the biggest win of his career so far. As a boxing fan, I don't ask for much. All I want is for champions, for world level boxers to be fighting good competition on a regular basis. And that's always been my main issue with Deontay Wilder. Does Deontay Wilder say some silly things at times? Yes. Are his fan base annoying at times? Yes. But the main thing is he wasn't fighting good competition. And as soon as this Ortiz fight got made and got finalised, I was happy. Because I felt that Luis Ortiz was by far the best fighter Deontay Wilder has ever been in the ring with. And I feel that Luis Ortiz is a genuine top 5, top 6 heavyweight. So I had no problem with this fight. These are the type of fights I've been wanting to see Deontay Wilder take for quite some time. So when the fight got finalised, obviously I was happy. The fight happened last night and it was a good fight. It was a really good fight. Deontay Wilder had to answer some questions and I felt he answered those questions quite well. The first 4 rounds was a bit of a boxing match. The crowd were actually booing in points because both guys were kind of reluctant to lead, to commit. And I felt in the first 4 rounds, I felt Luis Ortiz was doing just about the better work. He was maintaining his shape better. He looked like the guy who was in control for the most part. He landed a couple of good shots here and there. He was probing with that jab, the southpaw jab. And although not much landed from either guy, I felt Ortiz in the first 4 rounds was doing the better work. He seemed like the guy who was in control. So after 4 rounds, I had Deontay Wilder losing the fight by about 4 rounds. I felt Luis Ortiz swept the first 4 rounds. Round 5, Deontay Wilder finds a home for the right hand. He drops Luis Ortiz. And, you know, Luis Ortiz was hurt by the shot. The punch landed right on the temple of Luis Ortiz. Good shot. Ortiz gets dropped. He gets back up. And he sees out the round. Round 6. I felt was another good Wilder round. He was starting to find his timing. He was starting to find his distance, landing a couple of good jabs and throwing that right hand behind the jab, which was landing a few times. Ortiz did have some success also. There's a couple of good exchanges where Ortiz got a few good bits of work off. But round 6, I felt Deontay Wilder got the better shots in and he won the round. Round 7 was an interesting round. This was the round where Deontay Wilder was badly hurt. Luis Ortiz caught him with I think it was a left hand off the top of my head. I've not seen the fight since this morning. I watched it this morning. I think it was a left hand and Wilder got hurt. Wilder tries to grab on and obviously Luis Ortiz then tries to smother and finish Wilder. Wilder does take a few big shots, but he sees out the round somehow. Wilder did look quite hurt in that round, so credit to Wilder for taking those shots. Credit for Wilder for seeing out the round. The thing I was impressed with about Wilder in this round, not necessarily that he survived it, which was impressive obviously, but how he survived it. He didn't, when he got hurt, he didn't start swinging like a madman. He didn't start throwing bombs. What he did, he clinched, he held, he tried to back up, he tried to avoid Luis Ortiz. That's what you need to do when you're hurt. You know, he didn't sort of get into his machismo feelings and try and trade it out of Luis Ortiz. He done the smart thing. He held and he tried to evade Luis Ortiz as best he could. And he did get caught a few times after, but I felt he showed good defensive instincts to get through the round. So I was impressed with that actually. I didn't know Deontay Wilder had that in him. I always thought when Wilder got caught with a big shot, he would just throw back and go hell for leather. But credit to Deontay Wilder, I felt he handled that round really well. But he did lose a round. After round 7, round 8 was quite a good round as well. Both guys done some good work. Wilder lands a couple of good right hands. Ortiz lands some good shots as well. I felt round 8 probably goes to Luis Ortiz. Round 9 was a bit of a nothing round. Both guys, you know, trying to jockey for position. You know, Wilder trying to probe and prod. Ortiz again doing the same thing. Trying to get in position for his straight left. Round 9 was a close round. You could have gave it either way. Round 10 was when the fight ended. Wilder gets the stoppage victory. He drops Luis Ortiz hard with a right hand. Ortiz managed. He does beat the count. Then Wilder jumps on him, lands a lot. Throws a few shots, lands a lovely right uppercut, and finishes Luis Ortiz. Really good fight. I enjoyed it. Good solid fight, and it was the type of fight Deontay Wilder needed. As I said earlier, my whole issue about Deontay Wilder has been and has always been the fact that he doesn't fight good competition, and it appears that he cherry picks. But once his fight got made, I was happy. Now the fight's happened, I was really impressed. I really enjoyed it. Again, I don't ask for much. When a fighter steps up that I've been criticising, and he does his thing and he gets the win, I'll give him credit. I did pick Deontay Wilder to win the fight. I felt he'd win the fight by knockout. I felt that Luis Ortiz was very susceptible to the right hand. He wasn't quite as reckless as I previously thought. How I thought it was going to play out, I felt that Wilder would take the back foot and he would draw Luis Ortiz onto a right hand. Although he finished Luis Ortiz with a right hand and knocked him out like I said he would, it didn't quite go the way I thought it would. You know, so yeah, it was a good fight. Luis Ortiz fought well. I did think Luis Ortiz was winning until the stoppage. The cards that were released were terrible. It's got to be said. The cards were shocking. How anybody could have Deontay Wilder winning that fight before the 10th is beyond me. I'd say you're just blind, to be completely honest. And one more thing, when Deontay Wilder got hurt in the 7th, in between the 7th and the 8th, he got more than the full minute of the round because the doctors then checked Deontay Wilder out to see if he was okay. And that is a new rule in New York, but to me that seemed very convenient. So I do have a problem with the scorecards. I had a problem with the doctor checking out Wilder after the minute's rest. But apart from that, I felt Wilder performed well. He performed with credit. He showed heart. He showed he had a good chin. And he showed that in a fight that is in the balance, he can still win. He can still pull it out. So Deontay Wilder does deserve credit. He's beaten the best guy he's ever fought. So yeah, I've got to give Deontay Wilder credit. Despite me saying he'd win the fight, I still give him credit because, like I said, there's a lot of people out there saying that Ortiz was going to expose Wilder, that Ortiz has way too much of Wilder, he was too skilled, etc, etc. So credit to Deontay Wilder. As for the next steps, where does Deontay Wilder go from here? I would like to see Deontay Wilder fight the winner of Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker. When the whole, drama kicked up about Wilder and Joshua back in end of 2017, I want to say, I felt that both guys still had to do work. I felt Wilder still needed a good win, and I felt that Joshua needed another high-profile fight against a top contender. He's got that against Parker, so providing he wins, which I think he will do, providing he wins, I want to see Wilder versus Joshua next, and I'll remain consistent with what I said. When the Wilder-Joshua situation was really going overboard, when both sets of fans were going at each other, I personally felt that we could wait for this fight till summer 2018. I think after Joshua Parker, the fight should happen. I'm going to remain consistent with that. If it doesn't happen, I'll be a little bit unhappy. I will remain consistent with that. There's no reason for that fight not to happen in summer 2018. That's just the reality. Not many people really want to see Joshua versus Jarrell Miller. Nobody really wants to see that. Everyone wants to see Joshua versus Wilder. If Joshua doesn't fight Wilder next, providing he beats Parker, it has to be Povetkin, as far as I'm concerned. I don't want to see Jarrell Miller. He doesn't impress me. So I would like to see Wilder versus the Joshua Parker winner next. If Deontay Wilder cannot get the winner of Joshua Parker, I feel he should fight the winner of Dillian Whyte and Lucas Brown, just to stay busy, to stay active, to fight a decent name in the meantime. Regardless of what happens, I want to see Wilder stay active and fight relatively good competition. We don't want to see Duhaupas, we don't want to see a shot Chris Arreola anymore. You've fought Luis Ortiz, you've got the win in a performance where you showed a lot. Don't go back down to the Duhaupas level. We don't want to see that. As a fan, all I want to see is you fight top competition. Or at the very least, decent competition, you know, guys like a Lucas Brown or a Dillian White, something we can get excited about, something that's gonna, you know, get us talking. Nobody wants to see Duhaupas. So yeah, credit to Deontay Wilder. I was impressed. I was more impressed with how he stayed pretty composed. He didn't really panic, and he showed good heart, he showed a good chin, he showed he had something about him. Deontay Wilder's never going to be a slick fighter. He's never going to be a technically brilliant fighter. But what he does do, he's awkward for a start. He is very awkward. He's long, he's athletic, and he has a lot of power. We know that. Wilder's not as easy to fight as he looks. He's very awkward. And the awkwardness, although he does a lot wrong, can also help him. And it gives his opponents a lot of difficulty landing flush. Go back and watch the Ortiz fight. Apart from the 7th round and the 8th round and a couple of moments here and there, Ortiz was having a hard time landing clean on Deontay Wilder. Wilder's not easy to time, he's not easy to close the distance against, he's not easy to tag, he's awkward, he's gangly, he's lanky, he's quick, he's powerful, he's not easy to beat. Ortiz is a good fighter, he's a solid fighter, he has some skills, he's a southpaw, and Wilder got the job done. So I'll give him credit, like I said. Good fight, I enjoyed it. In regards to the undercard, Andre Dirrell lost to Jose Uzcategui, and I felt Dirrell looked like a shot fighter. He looked poor. He looked really, really poor. Uzcategui made him quit, so credit to him. Uzcategui is now the IBF super middleweight champion, so hopefully he gets a big fight soon. And yeah, good card, good night of boxing, and Wilder has proven now that he is a dangerous, dangerous fighter, and that he is a top heavyweight. He's a good fighter. Peace.